Hey guys, it's Playmaker here. Hopefully I'm facing the camera. I'm not too sure. I want here. Help. Well, we'll figure it out. So, anyways, this is depending on how I edit, depending on how editing goes, might be my first actual video up on the channel. I'm going to be just for now reviewing just various anime series and just it's pretty straightforward and just my thoughts on it. So, first anime I've decided to review is, okay, it's a bit of a mouthful. Our Last Crusade or the Rise of a New World. Um, yeah, so for now I'll just say it's a interesting anime. I feel like parts of it, I mean, everyone's seen before, but I mean, as long as you enjoy it, right? So, Thursday. So, yeah, before I start, we'll be covering some other series like along this one, just seeing which ones I am actually interested in covering, and there's some that's like it's one enjoy, not willing to talk about. But yeah, let's just get let's just get started, right? So it's just first episode was just just basically world building. I mean that's kind of how most series starts. So we got introduced to this element called astral power, which is described by one person. Oh, I also had to write down some notes because my memory isn't bad. Oh, okay. One more interjection. I sort of saw this season before, but my again memory is not the greatest. So basically just back from square one. But yeah, so we got introduced to this thing called astral power, which is described as strange energy from the planet. We don't really know what it does outside of like just giving people abilities. And people with those abilities are called astral mages. However, there are some people who are afraid of the power, and they brand those with power as derogatory terms as witches and such. And because of that, there's now two sides. The nebulous sovereignty, which is where the astral mages are, well, I don't know if I would say just retreated, but like they've just kind of like have their own territory, and the empire, who is just there to track them all down. And they've been going to war for I think 700 years. 100 years. Let's just say that might be over, but at least 100. So it's two people talking about this brief thing. It's a guy who's in a prison cell and a girl with white clothing, a white veil, and some red stuff. I think there's red stuff. It's like red shoes and red eyes mainly. That's it. But yeah. So then after but they're both and from at the end, both of them talk about wanting to end the war because it's been going on for so long, and who knows how much damage has been done. So after that quick introduction, we get introduced to this flashback where there's a pink-haired girl in prison, or I assume prison. She gets freed by this guy with who is shown to have also who is also shown in prison before, and sorry, just give me a second adjusting the camera. Yep, sorry. The first time, but yeah, so it's basically there's this guy who we eventually learn is named Iska. He frees this pink-haired girl who we don't have a name for. He gives her like plenty of money and crackers to escape, and then we get shown to now, which is like, well, we kind of learn what happened. He gets sentenced to prison for who knows how long. We just know he was in prison for a year, and there's 8 people who we eventually learn are called the 8 great apostles. They're also named letters for some reason, which I assume is the first letter of each name. It's the following: Aelvwpn and O. I assume it's just the first letters of each person's name, but we'll see. So yeah, again, Iska gets sent to prison, and now he faces these eight great apostles. Now he's been let go because those eight great apostles need him to face. Sorry, just fixing camera again. Sorry. I'll probably try to get something better next time. But yeah, we'll just keep going. So but now they basically request him to take down this someone named the Ice Calamity Wits, who is a direct descendant of the Grand Wits Nebulous, which has caused a lot of damage to the Empire. Yeah. So we learned that he has a nickname, Successor of the Black Steel. Not I assume it's the swords, but there might be something else here. It could also be let's just assume weapons for now. We'll probably learn more hopefully this season. Um, so so probably note I'm hoping there is another season. This isn't just another one and done, but we'll see. But yeah, these apostles then decide to grant Iska whatever help he needs, and he requests the help of three people who I have written down here because when I watched it the first time, I did not remember anyone's names. So there's a girl named Nene who is just pretty much the driver and support person. Jin, the silver-haired, calm, cool, and collected guy with the sharp tongue, and I don't have the name yet, but she is the captain. She has short blue hair and is probably very clumsy, and 22 years old. She definitely does not look 22. But it's anime, so whatever, right? Yep. So Iska just pretty much asked to team up with those three again after he gets released. We got Sona, Jin, bringing basically group back together, and they reunite at night to become once again, or I assume that's what they were before, the Special Defense Unit for Humankind, 3rd Division Unit N07. That is a lot. Oh boy. But yeah, so they get sent to the front lines, which is where I'm sure, I hope I mentioned, in case I didn't mention it before, he has to capture something called, or someone called the Ice Calamity Wits. Definitely, powers are definitely a surprise. So he gets sent to the front lines to a weapons reactor. We learn that there isn't many people there because it was recently attacked by witches, and Jen goes on to say that this has been going on for 100 years because the Empire keeps building weapons to stop the witches, and the witches keep destroying the weapons that the Empire is building, and then it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And now it's to the point where it's like no side wants to stop, and if someone were to stop, they would be hated on both sides. We learn Iska wants to stop both sides peacefully, but long ways to go. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah. Okay, so the four go on to travel somewhere, and then they get ambushed by astral mages, who the Empire calls witches, which is again derogatory term. Assuming that's what he said before. So they face off against let me see here, sorry. Uh Wind and fire astral mages. And then we learn what each person does. Iska slices fire. We start to learn what his weapons are. Zin has a gun. and Nene has I'm not too I'm not too sure what it is, but she says remote controlled flares. Jin and Iska takes them down by very effortlessly, I assume. Next up, the group faces the Earth Astral Maids, which is some person in a maid uniform. Oh wait, I should note that her and the person in the white dress is was spectating from afar before. Now the maid Astral Maids as an Earth Golem and wants to fight against the group. Iska just tells the group to go on without him, and they both fight. There was a bit of a struggle, but Iska takes her down with some ease as well, and I think almost tries to capture, if not kill her. Up next, we finally see the Ice Calamity Witch herself, whose name is Alice, or if you want the full name, let me. Alice Liese Lu Nebulous the Ninth. Yep, definitely, definitely big time name. So yeah, it's just we have Alice who has this white veil, has red eyes. This seems really pristine. She shows off her power then by freezing the land, reaching who knows how far, but we know it reaches the weapons reactor and ends up destroying it. Iska and Alice both then fight, with the following happening. Iska cutting Alice's attack Thousand Thorn Blizzard and then using it for himself. It seems like he can somehow copy astral arts from the swords. This is something that Rin has also pointed out. After a bit more fighting, Alice tells Iska to give up, and Iska then says if he gives up, who's going to stop the war, which resonates with Alice because he also wants the same thing. She then retreats before telling Iska that he won't be sulky next time. But before that happened, I should probably note that a funny moment occurred where she tried to make this big declaration, but she then falls off and Iska catches her. They both just have this moment of like this, like well, just have a moment, and then at least I don't know if it's both, but at least Alice just backs off, and Iska was like it was just a reflex. So it's both back off, and that's really it, or is it? Yeah. So to just to take a break from like what happened, Alice wants to go see a opera play called Tragic Love of Female Knight Beatrix with Alice in a place called Neutral City. Alice just basically cries a lot, wets her handkerchief, someone random gives her his, and then we learn it's Iska, so basically to end to each other again. Yeah, not too much really, but that's pretty much the first episode. Not too much really to say here, to be honest. Just world building episode. Nice accent, just has everything. Hopefully, that's yeah, there isn't really too much. So, but hopefully, accent picks up, or we'll see. But I've enjoyed it so far. Hope you guys see it too. Also watch it because I probably did a terrible job at explaining. But yeah, that's the episode. Again, it's called The Encounter of the Two Nations Ultimate Weapons. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Anyways, hope you guys are staying safe, being healthy, doing well, and until next time, see you guys later.